So in this video, I just want to show you why I film the way that I do when I unload my vehicle and where my scrap area is, and then show you that scrap area. So to start with, normally my truck is sitting right here. I back it in, but it's being worked on, so I'm without it right now. And I am on a dead-end street, which is really nice. So with the truck backed up here, I'm able to film unloading the truck and breaking some of the items down, sorting them out, and then this is where I'll show all the containers full of the scrap that I have, and that all needs to be taken all the way to the back of the yard, and I'll show you that shortly. Most of the other stuff when it comes to the cheap steel and things like that will go right here, and I accumulate it here until I have large enough of a load to take into the scrap yard, because it is an hour round trip just in driving alone. I'll sometimes put larger breakage here or larger aluminum pieces here. Like I've got some hoods back there right now underneath the black tarps, and also some aluminum breakage, and then the rest is all just cheap steel until I get my truck back and I can take all this out of here. This container I found in a dumpster, and I keep some of the smaller pieces in there, and sometimes I'll keep them in totes or buckets as well. And this technically is somewhat visible from the street, but I keep it covered so that it's not as visible. I've never had an issue with anybody taking anything from here. I did once have somebody take something from right there, but it's on the curb and it's kind of fair game. We have large bulk pickup every other week, every other trash day, which is really nice. And a lot of scavengers and scrappers come through here and they'll clean up this whole area of metal. That's why I don't do curbside scavenging, because it is very, very competitive in my area and it's just not worth the gas. But with it being here, I've never had an issue. But the stuff that I keep here, if it were to disappear one day and I saw that it was all gone, I'm really not going to cry about it. But that's why I do all of my filming here. It's just, it's easy to take that stuff and put it right here, and then all the rest of it needs to go all the way in the back here to my scrap area. After I'm done unloading the truck, this is the path that I have to take to carry everything back to my scrap area. I can't drive back there. The driveway only goes up that side a little bit, but the rest of this is unattainable by a vehicle. I do carry most of it, but sometimes I'll put it on a dolly. A lot of people have commented about the yard, and I appreciate that. This is actually my girlfriend's place, and she's responsible for the vision of most of this. But we laid down all this stone, all the mulch. She's done a lot of the edging. I just contribute to the cost as well as some labor, but a lot of this is her doing, and she's done a really nice job. And somebody also mentioned the amount of space that we have. We're actually only sitting on a third of an acre, maybe just a quarter of an acre. It looks a lot bigger with the super view on my GoPro, but all of this area here and the woods are actually owned by people up there, so it's not going to get built on anytime soon. It's not accessible by road, but it makes for a nice backdrop in this development so that we can sit back here and enjoy this, and I've got a nice area to scrap in. So this here is the scrap area that I often work in. I don't film this hardly at all. This section here I built before I was scrapping, and that was to house all of the pallet wood that I was getting for free. I was building stuff out of pallet wood. And then this section here I added when I started scrapping. So the entire area is covered in stone. I decided to do that when we put stone everywhere else, and that made it so I wasn't walking around in a muddy mess. This entire area was built on swampland, which is one of the reasons why this looks a little bit crooked. This has been up for many years, but it has settled over time. I've jacked it up once, and you can see with the cutout up there over the roof that it has moved, but it hasn't moved anymore since then. All these mats I put on top, I found these in a dumpster when I first started scrapping. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them, but they came in really useful here. Makes it really nice to walk on, nice clean environment. I really like that. And then this office mat here is actually over the drain area. I've got a drain that goes all the way into the back for drainage. All of this wood here is my campfire wood. All of that was free. I do pick it up on occasion and then I'll cut it up. That is all nail free and screw free heat treated wood, so I can take that and burn that for camping. And then all the other stuff I just burn here in our burn barrel when we like to sit outside with the fire. So like I said, this section here I built for pallet wood, and you can see I've got a lot of it organized. I actually don't have as much as I used to, but This section here is also being used somewhat for scrap because I do have buckets of like copper and brass and stuff like that hung up out of the way. This stuff I need to either, you know, list on eBay or do something with, and then just other miscellaneous things that I need to decide what to do with. Over here is my scrap area, or part of it. I know this all looks like it's really low, but it's not. I'm only 5'8", so I'm not very tall, but I don't have to bend down in this entire area. The super view of the video makes it look like this is a lot lower than it is, but it actually isn't. You know, I can touch the top of the roof there, and that's a little bit lower. This is all just tin roofing that I put down, as well as over the top of that, I found roller garage doors, and I put that over other areas to make it even better. It is very rudimentary. It's not held together by a whole lot. It's been up since I've started scrapping. We've had really strong winds, and it has not moved an inch. So I'm pretty confident that this is going to be okay. The bin area here, I got lucky one day at a Bed Bath & Beyond dumpster, and they were cleaning out because they were closing, and found all these bins. I used an old wood rack that I had made a long time ago I wasn't using, and then these here are actually server tower aluminum rails, so I decided to use those. They happen to fit right in there, and then I could put all my bins right there in place. Love that part of the scrap area because it makes it very organized. I've got them, you know, somewhat marked. I just know where everything goes, but, you know, #1 wire, stainless, cast aluminum, dirty aluminum, and stainless. And then the overflow from this goes back there, which I'll show you in a minute, because sometimes these do get full and I need to use other bins. Those are actually good days. This table here, I found, I think I got this on a scrap pickup from somebody. It still has the glass in it. It's just an outdoor patio table, but then I covered it with a spool that I also found in the dumpster, along with some carpeting that I just cut to fit. So I'll do light scrapping here, or when it's raining, I can get stuff done in this area. This grinder stays out here all the time. It doesn't get wet with the roof being the way that it is, and that way I can just hit metal and then figure out if it's brass or copper or aluminum or whatever. So that there stays, and it's just an old unit, so I don't care if it goes bad over time. As far as tools go, I've got this crash cart here. It doesn't really move anywhere. I just keep it there. This tool bin, as well as all the tools inside, I have found, along with most of these up here, with the exception of the cobalt tools and this one right here. I hung those up on magnetic strips so that they're easily accessible, so when I'm breaking stuff down, I can just reach up and get those. And then I've also got, you know, other stuff here that I found. All that was free as well, just little bits for my drill drivers and drills. So when I'm working here, I really don't have to go chasing other tools too often. On occasion I do, but no big deal. Over here is where I keep all my tall aluminum extrusion. On the other side of this is kind of a mess. I've got a lot of steel that I need to take in, I didn't know what to do with, and then a lot of the wood that I found I've also got laid back there behind that as well. This ladder, have it just hanging here out of the way, but I found that in a dumpster, and that was one of my best finds. I use that all the time. It works perfectly. All of this shelving here, I just use this to keep miscellaneous stuff. I don't care if any of this stuff gets wet. I found all the shelving, I found all the egg crates, actually all of this. I did not pay a penny for any of that, and it's worked out really well. You know, and here I just have a bunch of hard drives that I need to eventually send in or do something with. Here's still the mixer bowl and attachments that I found a few months ago. I haven't got around to listing those on eBay, but being out in the element, I'll just clean them up before I sell them. And then back here is the rest of the scrap area, obviously uncovered, but this is where I do a lot of the heavy breakdown. I've got this steel table here. So this is just the steel plate. I can put easily 130, 140 pound units up there and break them down, and it doesn't move. Just sitting on sawhorses. It's not even attached, but I've never had an issue with it. That cabinet I also found, and then in there is more tools that I don't care about, but I might use on occasion. And I just keep them out here because then I don't have to go into the shop all the time to grab stuff. Under here and also under here, and this is what I end up doing when I have overflow. I cover the stuff so that rain doesn't fill up the buckets or containers, but that is wire and some stuff that I need to still sell on Facebook. And then over here is mostly aluminum breakage that I need to get rid of when I get my truck back. Back here, this kind of a mess. These are just my empty totes. Usually those are full, sitting around here somewhere. Empty buckets, that's actually not even half of what I have. I have the rest of it stored somewhere else. These two 50-gallon drums, they are full of circuit boards that I need to eventually do something with. So I've got a ton of circuit boards in there, and they're just there for being out of the way. Also, some more conduit that I used for bird feeders and other things. So in addition to the stuff that I might have up here on the pallet rack, I've got more here, and just use a ladder that I found to rack it. And then these here, I'm in the process of selling on Facebook and finally get those out of the way. Found those in a dumpster a few months ago. So then I've got the access to the yard back this way, but that's what it looks like from this side. Here in North Carolina, it's not like being in the north. We have probably 70% clear blue sky days, even during the winter, which is really nice. So I can pretty much work out of here 5 out of 7 days of the week. And then I just have to deal with the heat or the cold or anything like that. But it is working for me because of where I live. North Carolina is very weather friendly. And then when it does rain, I just go underneath here and work under this area. So I do have it lit up. I forgot to explain that when I was in here. I know it looks like a mess of wires, which it is, because all of these LED lights come with their own cord. I'm not going to splice them all together. And then I've got these I actually found for free. And then these patio lights I already had. Those I put up first, and then the other lights. So what I have is a kill switch on the inside, because you know this stuff is outside in the elements, and that way I don't cause any electrical issues and burn the place down. But I've got a kill switch in the building over there, and then I have a line that comes out here to this surge protector. I found this in the dumpster as well, so I have that go on every time this surge protector's on, so when I do my final walkthrough at the end of the day, I can see if I forgot to turn the power off. So that power is just a couple of things out here. I think I have the grinder attached to that, and then I've got another surge protector that turns on all the lights. I'll show you a quick clip of what this looks like at night, but with the LED lights and the patio lights, it is actually quite bright out here, and it makes it great for scrapping in the evenings. And this time of year, late April, it's beautiful outside. So I love being out here, or even when it rains, it's really nice. So that is pretty much everything. I know I probably explained a bit more than I needed to. Of course, first aid kit, easily accessible. And then I've got other things hanging up here, like tape measures that I can grab quick, and sometimes I have more cleaners up there. But wanted to be a little bit more thorough than I needed to be, because I know there'll probably be some questions of why you did this, why you did that. You know, I saw this and have a question about it. But feel free to leave your comments, to ask other questions. And one thing that I forgot to mention in my last video, and that was I did get to 10,000 subscribers, which I was kind of surprised that I did that in a short amount of time. I already had a few from when the channel was something else, but almost all those subscribers are new and for the dumpster diving. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate everybody's views and comments. So for the 10,000 subscribers, what I'll do is a Q&A. So if you leave your questions below in this video, I'll pick a few of them and I'll do a Q&A, and it can be, you know, some personal stuff, not too personal, questions about scrapping or just questions in general. I'll pull a few of them down and do, I don't know, 10-minute video or something, and go through those questions and give you some answers. Just as a little thank you for watching the video. I know the rest of you are just waiting for more dumpster diving, and as soon as I get my truck back, I will go ahead and start throwing those videos out there too. It's been a long time, but I'm not pressing my buddy. He's got a lot going on. So it is what it is, but I am getting stuff done. I got a lot of my scrap cleared out, and I'm able to do other things around the house when I'm not being super lazy. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you later.